So, I'm 7 years old, living with my grandparents in Defiance, Ohio. Oh. Have you ever been there? What's with the...
Yeah, I've been there.
You've been there, yeah. Defiance, Ohio. It was a big day. I'm 7 years old, and I'm going to take a plane trip to Puerto Rico. So my grandparents drive me to the Toledo airport. My dad meets me there. He gets off of a plane, and then we get on a plane, and we fly to JFK. As we are landing in JFK, my dad's pointing out the window, and he goes, "Look, the Statue of Liberty." And 7 years old, I had only seen the Statue of Liberty on black and white TV or in black and white photographs. I knew you could climb inside, but I never knew she was green. And I mean, that was kind of cool. I'm looking over there and I'm seeing green. And it's just amazing because, you know, I didn't really appreciate what I saw on a TV set this big. Right now I'm looking through an airplane window this big, but still I'm looking, you know, it's amazing. And I'm just thinking, someday I want to see that. I want to go there. And, you know, so we go to Puerto Rico. A couple of years later, my family does a trip to New York, but I can't go. I was living in LA. The school year in Puerto Rico ends in May and starts in August, and that's when my dad had time off, so I couldn't do this trip. So I'm seeing these Polaroids of everyone else at the Statue of Liberty, and I get a little upset over this. But, you know, I was told, you know, someday you'll get to go. I went to New York City when I was 11 years old, and it was just basically a few, you know, like a day in between LA and Puerto Rico, and all we had time for was the Central Park Zoo, which was pretty impressive. I remember we drove through Manhattan. I saw the Empire State Building, I saw the Twin Towers, and then we spent the rest of our time in Brooklyn. It was wonderful. My uncle's 3-story walk-up, and the train went right by the kitchen window. When you were growing up in West Hollywood, that is pretty amazing, you know. And then midnight, all the kids ran in to watch The Honeymooners, which, you know, just rounded out the Brooklyn experience. And I really wasn't in that part of the country, well, you know, until I was a teenager. I actually flew People's Express. How many remember that? From LA. If you don't remember, this was a discount airline. $99 from LA, and I was visiting family upstate, so $99 from LA to Newark, and then another $20 got you to Rochester. Right? And they had a little pocket on the back of the seat, right above the tray table. There's a little pocket. You could either put your cash or your credit card, and then the flight attendant would come by, either take the cash or they had the knuckle buster, and you'd fly up there. We were landing in Newark, but when we flew by, I saw the Statue of Liberty, this time covered in scaffolding. You know, just complete scaffolding. So all I saw was this incredible scaffolding and green in the middle of it, and thinking, you know, someday, it's not going to be this day, it's not going to be this year. You know, Lee Iacocca got a lot of money for that refurbishment, but I knew someday that I would see that. So when I told Donna that, I said, I want to go to New York. I want to do this. High priority was to see the Statue of Liberty. I've been waiting I'm 52. I was waiting since I was 7. Okay? That's how long I've been waiting. And it's a little different now. I booked online. I want to see, you know, to get... You can book the ferry. You can, to Liberty Island. You can book a ticket to the pedestal, to the top of the pedestal, or the Crown. Now, when I was booking at the end of May, the Crown's already booked. It's like Hello Dolly tickets. The Crown's was already booked till September 5th. Right? Because now there's security that you have to go through, so it's a big deal. So I was able to book the pedestal. And you know, it was a little rainy and cloudy when we arrived in New York. The day that we were booked to go to the Statue of Liberty, we were told there was a lot of rain in the forecast. But, you know, we went. We had umbrellas. We went to Battery Park. and I could see the Statue of Liberty. There she is. Now, the fog was getting a little thick, and she was starting to fade. So Liberty is starting to disappear, and I'm thinking, is this a metaphor? And we have our umbrellas, we get on the ferry, and as we get closer and closer to Liberty Island, the rain stops, the fog clears, and the closer we got, the clearer she was. And I was just overwhelmed. And I was kind of just nonstop overwhelmed my entire time in New York, which probably kept me subdued and calm and all that. But it was just, there she is. And, you know, we had to go through like airport security to get on the ferry. And then you get off the ferry and you head over. They have these like MP3 players that you can listen to different tour information. And so we go up to the pedestal. There's another airport security type setup in the pedestal. We go through there. There's the torch. The old torch before the refurbishment. Now, I used to do a special effects show at Universal Studios where we recreated a scene from Alfred Hitchcock's movie Saboteur, and I used to stand on that torch, you know, in this replica, and we did this whole special effects thing. But now I'm looking at the actual torch that, you know, Bartoli made, and it's there in the pedestal. And then we go to the museum. They had a mock-up of her face out of copper that was a scale replica of her face, and this woman is trying to stick her head in her nostril. You know, because the nostril's like the size of a football, and this woman is just trying to get her head in the... And we're going through, and I've studied the statue. I've studied Bartoli and Eiffel and Pulitzer and you know, getting all the money for all of this. And I'm finally there. I'm in the pedestal. We're going around. Then we get on the stairs and we go up. We could have taken an elevator, but no. We walked all the way up to the top of the pedestal. And now you could see up the Statue of Liberty, even though we couldn't, you know, go to the crown. There's a glass ceiling. There's this incredible glass ceiling, and you can look up there, and I'm thinking, the lady with the lamp is above the glass ceiling. Is this a metaphor? But we're looking up there, and it's amazing. You can see where some of the old setup was for the old stairs and all that, but it's a little bit more contemporary now. And then we get out to the pedestal, so you can imagine the pedestal and then the statue. So we walked all around the pedestal, and I'm taking selfies and trying to get photos of different angles of the statue. And I'm trying to get this angle of her looking up towards the torch. And there's a guy, like right here, and he's on his phone, he's Skyping. You know, and he's there, he's like, hey, guess where I am? I'm at the Statue of Frickin' Liberty! God, I love New York. I mean, that was, you know, so we go around, and then we after we're done with that, we, find a spot on Liberty Island to get some other cool photos, and Donna wanted pictures of the skyline. And I got to tell you, there was this moment, because I remember seeing the skyline as a kid, and I have all these pictures in my head from movies and all that, what the skyline looks like. And the skyline's different now. And it's not matching the picture in my head. We did go and see the pools, you know, where the towers used to be. And it's still something that I'm having a little trouble reconciling there, but it's still amazing that we did this. You know, and it's like I am still so overwhelmed just by being able to be there after all these years, to finally see this incredible work of art that I studied and waited, you know, since I was 7 years old. And when we left New York, it was a clear day, and we could see the skyline, and I could see the Statue of Liberty from the plane. Only this time I wasn't saying someday. I do plan to go back to get up to the crown. So it's more like, you know, till we meet again. But I don't think I could express myself any better than the guy 3 feet away from me Skyping when he said, I'm at the Statue of Frickin' Liberty! Thank you.